Happy Friday and welcome back to Drinking by My Shelf. I am going to be doing a super chilled balancing the books today because I'm ill and I don't feel like drinking, so I've just got some tea. And also because I ran out of energy on my last balancing the books because you guys saw it. It was a mess. Why is my hair never pretty? Thank you, by the way, to everyone who left comments on my last Balancing the Books video. I read them all. I loved them all. I usually reply to like every comment I get, but there were so many, which was nice. I couldn't reply to them all, but thank you. I read them all. And basically the gist was most of you said you are very happy for me to not do the game element of Balancing the Books because you just like watching me do it anyway, which is legit delightful. And that's exactly what I'm gonna do today, is I'm just going to run you through all the books that came onto my TBR, all the books that came off my TBR, but I'm just not going to fucking freak out about getting rid of them if I didn't hit my target of -5. People were also asking if I had like an end goal, and I do. I really want to get my TBR to be just the one shelf, like just the top shelf of that shelf, if you know what I mean. So that's like 20 books. That's my goal, but I'm going to take away the time limit for when I get to that goal, and we're just going to see what happens, really. This is going to be such a low energy balancing the books, because I'm just not feeling well at all. I'll get some balance back in next month, but for now, let's just all fucking chill, okay, and go through my books. Also, before I get started, some plugs. I never remember to plug things, but it's Friday today when you're watching this, not when I'm filming it, and that means that you can go over to the Book Break Instagram at Book Break UK and you can see the outtakes from our last Book Break video. It's a new thing that we decided to do every Friday. It's going to be Fail Friday. It was originally going to be Fuck Up Friday, but we weren't sure about that hashtag. So it's Fail Friday and we're just going to post the bloopers from Thursday's video. So make sure you're following at Book Break UK because I run that Instagram. I post new things basically every day at the moment, so go over there and enjoy it. And also, I have my own Instagram. Did you know? I never plug that either. It's just at drinking by... No, it isn't. No, it isn't. It's at Drink by My Shelf. The same as my Twitter, which is also at Drink by My Shelf. You should follow them both. I used to have a much bigger Twitter with more followers and more people that I was following, and it got too stressful, and I hated it. So now I have a nice, cute little one with just like a few hundred people, and we talk about books. So come hang out with me over there. Okay, cool. Plugs. Those are all my plugs. Also, watch Book Break. I guess that wasn't all my plugs. Subscribe to Book Break. It's the YouTube channel that I run for work. It's my job to get you guys to watch it, so go and watch it. The one that just went up yesterday was a little vlog of me going to a Treasure Island themed dinner party and getting really smashed. They gave us a lot of free alcohol and I was real drunk, and it's quite funny when you watch the video because you can really tell in my outro to the video I am like slurring my words. Professional at all times. So go watch that, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment of a cocktail glass so that I know you went. Okay, cool, right, that was the longest intro in the world. Let's play Balancing the Books. So at the end of last month I ended up with 41 books on my TBR, which was a massive jump up from where I was supposed to be, but who gives a crap? So it was 41, or it was actually 39 if I decided not to count workbooks, but I wasn't sure about that rule because I like telling you guys about the workbooks that I get. But anyway, it's irrelevant because the two workbooks that I was thinking about were these two, The Lost Plot and The Burning Page from the Invisible Library series, and I read them both, so we're on 39 now anyway. I also hauled the 5th book in that series, which is called The Mortal Word. It isn't out yet, but I'm going to be telling you all about it in a book break video as I get excited, and I read it, so that doesn't make a difference to my TBR. I will say I'm pleased that I have now finished reading those books because I think they're really good. I genuinely do think they're really good, and I'm really excited to make the book break video about them and recommend them to people who love fantasy. And they're a fantasy series about books, so you don't get much better than that. So I do think they're really, really good. I really like the characters, I like the treatment of gender in the books and sexuality. I love the main character Irene. I think they're really imaginative, I think they're really smart, but I don't like fantasy. That's the problem. And it's been really slowing me down. So I only read, I think, 5 books this month, which for me is quite a small number, and I think it's because I was just reading those books so slowly because I have to really, really concentrate the second there's like dragons involved. It just takes me a lot longer to read them because I'm used to reading books that follow the laws of physics. So that's that about them. But I think that they're really, really great. And if you like fantasy, I would really recommend them, because that is the most I've ever enjoyed a fantasy book ever. Usually I just have to give up on reading them because I can't deal. These ones, I genuinely did want to know what was going to happen. And I was genuinely absorbed in like enjoying reading about Irene's adventures. So they're great. I'm really glad I don't have to read them anymore. Oh, so at the end of last month's video, I did a bit of trash my TBR. And you guys commented which ones you wanted me to trash, and I got loads of mixed responses about a lot of the books, but there was one that was pretty much unanimous. I'm gonna go and grab it. Social Creature, you all unanimously said that I should trash it, and nobody stuck up for it. So that one can go. I actually got it in the first place from my mum because she didn't like it and gave up on reading it, so she passed it down to me to see if I had any more luck. So that's not a great start to a book's life in my life, and so I'm getting rid of it. Consider it trashed. And then, of course, there was a haul. A small little haul, there always is. I got Toil and Trouble, which Emma Tobias wanted to buddy read with me, and that is an anthology of like 15, I think, short stories about witches. So again, a genre that I don't ever read or know anything about, so I've been reading very slowly, and they've been pretty hit and miss with me, but there've been a few I've really enjoyed. There's a few that's been really sweet, and I always like buddy reading with Emma because we chat about it and it's really nice. And then I got from NetGalley a book that I'm so excited about, and that is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. That reminds me, when does the Taylor Jenkins Readathon start? In November. Okay, don't worry, that's now, but I haven't missed it. Taylor Jenkins Reid is the author of Evelyn Hugo. What's it called? The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, which is one of my favourite books from last year. I love it so much. And Taylor Jenkins Reid is just this great author. So I'd read one of her books before, which was called Maybe Another Life. These books are just like the perfect crossover of a fun beach holiday read, but also like gives you shit to think about. So Maybe Another Life was much more like lighthearted and just fun, but it was like tongue-in-cheek, and I really enjoyed it. I was like, that's really smart. For a holiday read, that is really, really smart. And then Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo was like heartbreaking. And I love Taylor Jenkins Reid. I think she's great. So I will be taking part in the Taylor Jenkins Readathon, or read-along, whatever it's called, starting in November. And I also have got Daisy Jones and the Six, which is her upcoming book, ready on my Kindle for whenever I get a fucking moment to read anything. Okay, so the other books that I did read this month, other than the Invisible Library ones, I started the month by reading The Wonder by Emma Donoghue, which I've had for ages. Emma Donoghue is the author of Room, and The Wonder is about this nurse who is sent on a mission to Ireland to go and supervise this girl who apparently is not eating. She's like this miracle in the village because she hasn't eaten any food for months, but somehow is still alive. And the nurse is like, yeah, bloody right, of course she's eating. Her family is slipping her food, they're hiding it, they're trying to like earn money by making her into a miracle or something. So she goes to supervise, and she has to do like a 24-hour watch, like her and another nurse alternating, and they're like, what the fuck? This girl isn't getting any food. How is she alive? This goes against everything we know. And it's like a mystery, so you figure out what's actually happening. Is the girl actually eating? How is she eating? What's going on? I thought it was really great and sad and interesting. And it's based on like the real phenomena of the fasting girls, which you can look up on Wikipedia, and they're really interesting because there's various theories about what that was. And then the other book I read this month was A Spark of Light by Jodi Picoult, which was so good. I haven't read Jodi Picoult for so long. I was obsessed with her when I was a teenager. I loved all of her books set in court cases, and I hadn't read one for years. And everyone got really excited last year about Small Great Things, Small Beautiful Greatness. I can't remember what it was called, but that book that she wrote and everyone loved. And I haven't read it, but I probably will go back because A Spark of Light was so good. So it's really intense, be warned. It's about a mass shooting, which is like a massive fear of mine, really, really freaks me out. So I wasn't sure that I wanted to read it. And also she's done that topic before, so I wasn't sure. But it was great. So this shooting takes place in an abortion centre. So the book is very much about abortion and the importance of these centres. And it's told backwards. So the first chapter is like right at the end of the situation, and then it goes all the way backwards up to when the shooter first comes in, and even earlier. And you learn so much about all the different characters involved, and she does such a good job of getting in the head of each character and really sympathising with everyone. Like including there's a woman who is at the centre and she's held hostage with everyone else, but she was only in the centre in the first place to protest against it. So like straight up you're like, I'm not gonna like her, or at least that's how I feel, because I very strongly am pro-choice, but when you get into her character's story and her background, it's just really sad and it's really easy to sympathise with her. I would really hope that if someone read it who is currently against abortion being legal or abortion centres, that it would help them to change their mind. And it's not about changing their mind on abortion, on their views of abortion. I don't have any desire to change people's minds on that. You're perfectly entitled to your own feelings about abortion. The important thing is that abortion is made accessible for people who need it. And I would hope that somebody reading that book would change their mind on it. And the problem is I feel like they wouldn't read that book in the first place. So who knows? But I thought it was wonderful and really, really powerful. Okay, then I also read extracts from Here We Are, Feminism for the Real World by Kelly Jensen, another one I've had for ages. And it's really lovely. I didn't read the whole thing. I kind of skim read and picked out the essays that I wanted to read. But it just made me really happy that it exists. It's mainly for young readers. It's like this amazing intro to feminism and this really diverse collection of writers and artists who've contributed. So I really, really love that. I think it's great. It's got like little comic strips and stuff as well as the essays. And it's got like playlists and it's just really cute. Kind of thing that just makes me happy for the teenagers of today. And then finally, the last book to come off my TBR is honestly the most disappointing thing that's happened to me in my bookshelves for many years. I finally started to read probably my highest anticipated book on the whole of my shelf, and I didn't like it. And that was If on a Winter's Night a Traveller. And I actually DNF'd it. I can't believe I DNF'd this book. I've been so excited about it. It's such a cool premise, but after the first chapter I just slowly realised it was not going to work for me. I really like how meta it is. It starts and it's talking to you. So the opening sentence is, you are about to begin reading Italo Calvino's new novel, If on a Winter's Night a Traveller. And then it sort of talks you through the process of reading, of starting a new book. And it was so perfect. It was so accurate, like the way it feels to start a new book. I just thought this was going to be my favourite book in the whole world. I felt like it was speaking to me. And then it's this really interesting concept where you start reading this book. After a few pages, you realise that your book has an error in it, like a printer's error. So you take it back to the bookshop and swap it. But when you get your new book, it's a totally different book from what you thought you were reading. And then it's this sort of like treasure hunt through all these different books where every time something goes wrong, you start a new book. The problem with that is you just have to keep starting new books. And starting new books is actually not my favourite thing. There's a bit of a hurdle for you to get into the new story. And when the whole book is just you doing that over and over and over again, and also not really trying to get into them because you know that in a few pages it's going to end and you're going to have to start again with something else, is a really cool idea, but not at all enjoyable. I feel like this book has been a part of my life and part of my dreams for so long that I didn't like it at all, and I wouldn't read it if you paid me. I even read, so David Mitchell wrote a quote on the back saying it was breathtakingly inventive, and I even wrote an essay. No, I didn't write it. I read an essay that he wrote where he basically took that back and was like, it's not breathtakingly inventive. It was great for at the time for what it was, but it's not that good now. Oh god. It's got such good ratings on Goodreads though. Usually books like this I'd have thought lots of people love, but lots of people would feel the same as me and not get into it. But apparently I'm alone in that. So this was sad. This was a sad day for me and my bookshelves, but this has gone off it and is never to see the light of day again. Which means that I'm now on 36 books, which funnily enough means that I did go down 5 books from the beginning of the month. Are you fucking kidding me? The one time that I say I'm not going to try and do that, I do it. I should just give up on trying ever. That's hilarious. So that was October. That was drinking by my shelf. No, that was balancing the books. I'm drinking by my shelf. Am I? I don't know what I'm saying anymore. I'm so tired. I feel like I need to go and take some night nurse and get the fuck to sleep. So that's what I'm going to do. Actually, I'm going to watch YouTube videos until I fall asleep. I'm going to watch booktube videos. I'm going to watch you guys. Comment below if I should watch your video. It'll be too late because you'll be watching this tomorrow and I'm doing this tonight, but maybe I'll watch it another time. And go follow all those things on Instagram that I said, and subscribe to this channel because I post new videos every Friday and I play lots of games and they're really fun. And I'll see you next time. Bye bye!